Hello guys, thanks for watching. Adrian here from AppSeed. So in this video I will generate a new full stack application on top of React and Node.js. Once the product is generated, I will use the CLI to push the product into the render deployment platform, and the generated product should be up and running in less than 5 minutes. Let's access the generator page, which by the way it's a free service. You don't need an account to use it. I will pick from here Berry design because it's super nice. For newcomers, the generator has a simple wizard UI. In the first page you can choose the design. In the second screen allows you to pick up the preferred backend framework, and in this case I will select Node.js, and the customization project, we can select the database and deployment, and soon on this position will be render. Once our selection is confirmed, we need to the system will take our request and provide the source code. The zip archive of the generated product is available sooner, but the files are just uploaded to GitHub in order to be usable and in the long run. So I will refresh here my GitHub dashboard, and we can see that we have a new stack generated, which is this one on top of Berry and Node.js. Once the project is fully uploaded, we will use the CLI, this tool, in order to push the product live. So basically this tool, it's a wrapper written in Python on top of rendering deployment API. So it's super easy to use the tool. All we need to set up in the environment is the API key, and the rest of the information is optional. Owner and default builder and debug, just to have more information printed in the CLI. But the most important thing is to have the render API key. So cool. The product is generated. We can access the repository, and once we have here the product, we need to install the CLI and push the deployment live. That will be visible here on your render dashboard. Okay, in this case we need to use the full stack command, and just copy the link of the repository, and that's all. The tool will introspect the sources, detects that we have a Node.js API with a React frontend, and just do his work and push the product into the render platform. If we don't see any error messages printed in the CLI, the services were accepted by the render, and we need to wait the completion of the deployment. So another nice thing that happens under the hood is that the UI and the backend are correlated. That's why the tool always generates first the API and use this address to configure the backend to communicate with the API. Let's go to the render platform and refresh the page, and we can see that the tools are deployed, and we need to wait the completion. I will open up the API server and check out the compilation logs. All looks good, no errors. I'll do the same with the React UI. Usually React takes longer, um, might take 2 or 3 minutes until the compilation is completed and the product is deployed on render infrastructure. Okay, until the deployment is fully finished, we can explore other options provided by this deployer. So the deployer knows how to deploy other type of projects, monorepos for Flask, Django, Node.js, static sites in case you have React, Svelte, or Vue.js projects. You can use the tool to push the project into render. And also these shortcuts are already configured to work with all the APIs that we provide. So once this project is live and we will test the communication and play around with the product, I will deploy another server, let's say Django or Flask. It's the same thing, just using the CLI, because this command, it's a link to this repository, which is also free. API server Flask. Okay, so in case we call the deployer with this argument, this server is automatically deployed on render. So it's super easy. Once the Flask server is deployed, we can switch here in the settings of the React UI. We can switch from one API to another, just to test that all our API servers are provided the same interface, and it's super easy to switch from Node.js to another, and from Node.js to Flask, or from Flask to Django, just to be consistent and helpful to the developers. Okay, now the API server, Node.js API server is successfully deployed. The remaining compilation is the React user interface, and we need to wait until the files are successfully built. Okay, looks good. For newcomers, Render, it's a deployment platform quite with a similar UI as Heroku, but they have a super nice pricing. Infrastructure is great. API is mature enough to be used by external tools, and also the pricing is super affordable. So we decided at AppSeed to go with Render, and automatized all the deployment flows on top of their infrastructure, because it's has many advantages, and also many of our users suggest us to link AppSeed with Render. So we decided to go with this platform. Okay, let's go back to the React compilation and check out the status. It's still under build. In the meantime, we can trigger the Flask API build. So as I said before, we just need to add to the deployer this qualifier, and the tool knows from where to copy the sources and how to trigger the deployment. Cool. So our API server will be live at this address, and we can refresh the dashboard and check out the progress of this new service. Cool. I think the internet connection is not so great at this moment because it takes a lot this refresh. Usually it works much faster. So we can see in the GitHub logs that the generator is heavily used. Right now there is a Horizon UI under build, or it was built 7 minutes ago, and another one here also for Horizon, and we can see here that there is a Flask application already finished 17 minutes ago. So many users are generated their stacks and use this free service. So let's check out again the React. So the platform informs us that the product is live. We can access the service. Okay, let's do this and check out the interface. Whoa, it's up and running. Let's go to the API NodeJS server and check out the logs. Okay, test at AppSeed. This user is not created yet. Just to check out the connection with the backend. Okay, so the connection was rejected, which is good because the user was not registered yet. Okay, we can see here we have requests. Let's authenticate. So the application is up and running. We've just generate the stack and go live with this simple deployer. Okay, let's log out and let's take a look at the React UI environment where the API server is provided as a configuration. In the configuration, we can see here that we have this variable app backend server, and we can see here is this address is the address of the Node.js server. So because the API server is live, I will just copy the address and switch the address here in the configuration. Okay, once the environment is updated for React or for any other application, render triggers a new build. So let's confirm the change and go back here and watch the new build. Environment updated. So now render just rebuild the product using the new settings. And once the React UI it's up and running, we should no longer see queries performed on against Node.js. We should see the requests that are made here using the Flask API. But this will take another 1 or 2 minutes. In the meantime, we can chat about AppSeed. The generator, it's a free service, knows how to generate simple stacks on top of Flask Django using a simple UI interface. Basically, the users choose the design, choose the stack they prefer and they want to work with, and the source code is generated and becomes available as a zip archive, and also is available as a GitHub repository uploaded on GitHub under the MIT license. The licensing is super important because generator stacks can be used or incorporated in any type of projects, um, can be sell, can be incorporated in commercial projects for e-learning activities. So the developer has all the freedom to use the code. Okay, let's check out again the progress. Okay, still compiling. If we refresh the page, we might see another. Okay, so 12 minutes ago Horizon was generated with Node.js, and 4 minutes ago Berry was generated with Node.js, and is not our stack, because our stack was generated 50 minutes ago. So as I said before, the generator is heavily used, and if we go here and just refresh the page, a few minutes later this number is increasing because the all stacks are counted. Okay, cool. So the compilation is almost done, and we should be able soon to access the product that now uses the API backend server. In case anyone have issues with the generated products or with any other products provided by AppSeed, free or commercial, feel free to access the platform and go here to the support page, chat with us, send us an email, or simply join the Discord. We have more than 1,000 developers. The community is nice, and we can chat one to one, and we are trying to help anyone to move on with their projects, and also advise regarding the development, in case, of course, we have expertise. Basically, with the deployer, if we want to just to deploy this stack using the CLI, all we need to do is to type like this: Python deployer, which is the entry point. Full stack is the argument that informs the tool to deploy a stack provided by AppSeed, and we just need to copy this URL, and that's all. So this is super handy in order to automatize your deployments. Also, this tool is now under development, and we are working to make it stable enough in order to be incorporated in AppSeed. And once the tool is validated by the QI and by the users, in the last step of the deployment page, the users should be able to select the render platform for the deployment. So it will be just one-click deployment, and this flow that is now related to the CLI and the console and install modules and stuff will be entirely visual. Anyway, the tool is not something super complex. It's just wrapper API on top of render API. It takes care of some defaults and handles the errors, just to hide all the complexity of the API, the syntax, and all the stuff. And if we take a look at the requirements, the module requires only the request library from Python. So it's not rocket science, but it simplifies a lot the process deployment process. That's the goal of the tool. Cool. So now the React UI compilation is completed. Let's access the UI and also visualize the logs of the Flask server. I will use the same user as before, which this time is not created on this new server. Okay, the email does not exist, so let's create an account and sign in. If the registration is successful, we are redirected to the sign-in page, and if we provide the right credentials, we are able to play and authenticate into the application. So we switched the API from Node.js to Flask. The deployer is, in my opinion, is super handy. We just push some services without coding anything. I didn't add any code. I didn't write any instructions anywhere. So I just use the live generator and build the product, and later use the CLI to push the product live. So guys, thanks for watching. Adrian here from AppSeed. We have many tools under heavy development that will be released in the open source space. Here another stack was generated because the number is now increased with 1. So guys are using heavily the generator. So guys, thanks for watching. Adrian here from AppSeed. Let us know what you think about the tool. Let us know what modules we should add for each stack, and don't hesitate to ask for help. Thanks for watching, and as always, I wish you all a super day. Bye guys.